All right, today we are working on geometry. So it's chapter 12, lesson 1. We're going to be starting with polygons. Now, we have learned about polygons before, but let's go back and relearn what we need to know. This is a great segue into what's going to be coming in the middle school and the high school. So a polygon is a closed figure, and it is made up of line segments that can't cross each other. So if you look down here at these examples, this is not a line segment, right? It doesn't stop and end. This is a line segment, this is too, but there's nothing on top, so it's not a closed figure. This up here doesn't count as a polygon because see these squiggly lines? They kind of throw the whole thing off. And because this one crosses, again, it's not a polygon. But these are, no matter how oddly they're shaped, they're still polygons because, once again, they're closed figures and they have line segments and they don't cross each other. All right, so we're going to be looking at this pentagon here. So the building shown in this is the Pentagon that's in Washington, D.C. So we're going to describe the size of the sides of the figure formed by the red outlines. This is that big outline on the outside here. So does that red outline form a polygon? And the answer is, well, how many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 5 sides. And then, do those sides ever cross over each other? Do they ever intersect? And the answer to that is no. Okay, so it has 5, weird 5, but okay. 5 sides. Do they cross over each other? No, so the answer is that that's a polygon. So, a regular polygon is a polygon with congruent sides and congruent angles. And I'm sure you've heard your teacher say congruent before. Congruent means equal. Okay, so you can have a line that's congruent in 2 ways. Or, well, that's not really true. You can have congruent sides which are equal in length, and then you can also have congruent angles, meaning that they have the same degree measure. So if I take this one here, if I were to measure this with a protractor and this with a protractor, they would definitely be congruent. They would be equal. The angle would be equal. Okay, so if this is congruent with this, that means the sides are equal. If this angle and this angle are congruent, that means that they have congruent angles. They're equal. Hard to say all those words. All right, so we're going to look at now this polygon, and we're going to answer some questions here. We want to know if it's regular or not regular. So looking at this again, the top and bottom sides appear blank than the other sides. So if I look at this and this compared to this and this, it appears larger to me, or longer. Okay, so if it appears longer to me, then I'm going to go with they're not congruent. Okay, but let's answer the other questions first. So, are all 6 sides of the polygon congruent? No. So it's not going to be a regular. So it is not a regular polygon. Having pen issues today. Okay. Let's look at this next page. All right, so we are looking at this. So we're going to look at this table here. We're going to look at polygons. These are all regular polygons right here. And these are all not regular, or I would call them irregular, but the book calls them not regular. So not regular polygons, again, don't have congruent sides, and their angles are not congruent also. They're not equal sides, not equal angles. So first of all, triangle, we've been learning this forever, so some of this is going to be so simple for you guys, and then other parts you'll be learning. So if you think about triangle, it has 3 sides, right? What is going on with my pen today? It has 3 sides. So we want to know, is this one a regular? Yes. Is this one irregular? Yes, it is. All right, so I don't really want you guys to draw another polygon. That just takes a little bit of time. So now let's look at a regular triangle, or excuse me, quadrilateral. All four sides are congruent. All the angles look like they're just about perfect. But again, here, is this angle the same as this angle? No. But there are a total of 4 sides on both. Okay. The pentagon we just talked about. So this one has all congruent sides and angles. But then here's one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So it's still 5-sided, but is it a regular polygon? Well, no, because it doesn't look all the same like this. Okay, here's a hexagon with 6 sides. Remember, the hexagon with the X is our clue that there's going to be 6 sides. And again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, but they're not regular. It's an irregular polygon. All right, and then octagon. Remember, like octopus, is the prefix for 8. Stands for 8. But if we look at this, it's really important that we see that there's 8 sides. And this is a great example because this is a good time for you to learn how to count the sides. So you would think you'd just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you could, but it's really important as you get more into these difficult shapes that you kind of mark it off. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides here. Let's count the sides over here and make sure that there's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, the only reason I'm saying that is because as you get to these weird shapes, or the bigger the shapes with more sides, you really want to know that you're counting accurately, so marking them off is helpful here. All right, let's check this out. So again, we're going to name the polygon and then to determine if it appears to be regular or not regular. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we know it's a what? Octagon. It has 8 sides. Do those all appear to be congruent? And I would say yes. And so this would be a regular, I'm not going to write this all out since I'm having pen and shoes, but this would be a regular octagon. Octagon. Okay, you guys know what I want you to write there, right? It's a regular octagon. Okay, so today's work really isn't that difficult. Many of you are going to overthink it because it is really not that hard, but you need to do 2 things for each of these. 2 things for each of these. You need to answer 2 questions. So we're going to identify the structure by naming each polygon. So that's why it is capitalized. And we're also going to determine if it appears to be regular or not regular. Pen is doing something wacky. Hold on. Try something different. Okay, so now Chromebook might be dying on me, you guys. So now we've got first of all, we want to name the polygon. So we know that this is how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what was that called? That was called a square when we were younger, but now we're going to start calling it by its official name. So it's a quadrilateral. And again, I'm not going to write the whole thing since I am having those weird pen issues right now. So I'm just going to write quad. You're going to write quadrilateral. If you don't know how to spell it, look on the page before. And then we also need to answer the other question. So I'm going to put a little comma right here. And we need to know, is it regular or not regular? Well, remember, regular meant it had to be totally closed. All sides had to be congruent. All angles needed to be congruent. So I'm going to go with it is regular. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Okay. So that's what we are doing today. Hopefully you don't have pencil issues like I had pen issues. You guys should be fine. And there you go.